Good morning. Okay. I said in the last video I did, I'd show you guys how to do a resin glass art piece. So, first off, this frame I believe I got off of Hobby Lobby. I'm honestly not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, and it was brown. And I took white spray paint. I took the glass and everything out, and I spray painted it white. But see from the drips, I should have just painted it with regular acrylic paint like I normally do, but I think I did a bunch of them, so that's why I spray painted it. Okay, so once that was done, you take your glass and you take E6000 glue. You run the E6000 glue all around the frame in here. And then you put your glass on top and you let that dry. I know I have a video on my YouTube channel at Coastal Lovin' that shows exactly how to prep your frame to get started. So then you clean your glass. So I think it was Metal Modern Design. She did some stenciling on one of her frames. So I said, I think I like that idea. So I have this stencil with different, I don't know if you can see it, with different corals on it. And I just laid it on and started pouncing and filled in what I wanted. I really went heavy on here because I wanted it a little bit heavier. The paint I'm using, which this is the first time I've ever tried this, is Folk Art Color Shift. And this is Aqua Flash Turquoise Brilliant. And it's a beautiful color. I love it already. So I'm going to have to try some more colors in that, because, you know, when you turn it, you can see the shimmer. Awesome. Okay, since I don't have my resin yet, which I'm still waiting for, that's supposed to come today, we can start this step, and then once my resin comes in, we can pour it. Okay, so what I'm going to use in this is some sand, maybe some crushed shell, this little turtle, obviously seashells. So a lot of times I just set it up. I like to mix my sand in with the resin, but since I used the last resin I had to do that lizard yesterday. So, I mean, I have deep pour resin, but I don't want to waste it on a piece this small. So what I'm going to do is, you can get this sand. I got it at Hobby Lobby. You can get different colors. So we're just going to kind of lay it out, and this is what I normally do. But again, I'll be mixing this in with resin when it comes here. And this, I just had some sand, and I put some gold glitter in it. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of that in with this. And I'm going to mix this up. I don't know if that's going to be enough yet, but I have sand from different Florida beaches. As long as it's dry, you know, use it. I don't always use the pre-bought sand. I do a lot of my pieces with sand I've collected. So I'm just going to take it and just sprinkle it here. And again, I will have this in resin once I get it, but at least I'm getting an idea of what I want to do, which means all this stuff will have to come off, but at least I can show you how to get started. Okay. And we're going to do ocean colors, and we're going to do some waves. So, I mean, this isn't a very big piece, so I'm just going to just put on what you think, what you want. Everybody's got their own thing, you know. You might like just a little bit of sand. Somebody else might want a lot. I just go by how I like it, the looks. But I really do try to avoid doing straight lines because beaches aren't actually straight lines. So I try to avoid that. So, and I'm kind of gonna see if I put him here, going in the ocean, and I'm saying, well, no, I need some more sand down here. It just depends. Could I put him down here? I could put him down here as well. And I don't know. I'm gonna put a little bit more sand, and I kind of like him right in there. So let me add a little bit more sand, because I want him partially on the sand going toward the ocean, because this will be an ocean piece. Okay, so let's, yeah, I'm going to flatten this out a little bit because he's going to be sitting on here. Take him up a little bit more. This is what I do. You'll find what you like. You'll do your thing. You'll find what you like. And I prefer putting the resin in the sand so that when I do go to pour, I don't want the sand going up into the ocean. That's why I like to do it. Sometimes I do it like this, but it depends on what I have here. All right, so I think that's going to be good. And then, let's see. I could put a little glass in here. So, you know, I might do a little glass in here, a little bit of white glass. Let's see here. So this is crushed glass. I get my glass from Metal Modern Designs. But I want to find some small pieces. A lot of these are big, and I don't want the big ones. Usually I get them, they're 1/4 inch, which is the perfect size. But I think I ordered from somebody else, and I ended up mixing them together, and a lot of their pieces were large. So I probably shouldn't have did that, because these are just too big for a piece like this. So let me just see here. I'm not sure if I want to do this or not, or just go with the sand with this piece, because a lot of times I run the glass right along the shore there, and it just looks like it's bubbles. You can put bubbles in there. See, these are all, here's a small chunk. It just gives it a little more detail. You don't have to do this. A big one. And just going to kind of slip it in there. And then just a few pieces over here to finish off that side. Yeah, I'm just having trouble finding little tiny pieces. So we're just going to put that there. Oh, I've even taken a hammer to this. which I really don't like doing. Just a few pieces in there, and I might put a couple bubbles in there. And I'm just placing it. I don't know why I'm being so precise, because it all has to come off, but this way you can see how it's done. Maybe another piece here, you know, and once you pour the resin, sometimes you might even add a little more. These pieces are just pretty big. I need something else in there. And I'll just put these pieces in a cup so I have them when I go to start pouring. All right, so I think I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Like I said, I may add more. Let's see if I can get him under there. There we go. And it's just gonna look like the bubbles from the ocean, from the waves coming crashing against the beach. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Put those big pieces back in there. And now I have to pick out some. Obviously, I definitely need a starfish. Most of my pieces have a starfish in them. I usually put a starfish and a pearl in every one of my pieces. I try anyways. You know, I might put this up here, like so. And then that'll be there. And let's see. These might be a little, whoop. I don't know, that might be a little, that looks a little too big for what I want. Yeah. I think I need smaller shells. I really want one of these in here if I can find a small one. Yeah, it's a little shorter, but not much. We put that there. And if I can find a smaller one of this, and then I put my pearl in it. That's a little, I don't know. I'm gonna put this piece up here. Sometimes I just go for it, you know. I'm hoping for a smaller shell. I don't know. I think I like the other one better. This one's coming off. I like this one better. And then maybe this, of course it's broke. That one's not gonna work. These are, okay. So that looks good. Then what I'll do is I'll grab my pearls. If I got them here. Okay. So I'm going to do a larger pearl in there. I even have bigger ones, and actually I'm going to use bigger ones in that. I have them down here. Let's see. Yes, I like that in there. So there's my curl. And then I think what I'll do is just a few small pieces in here. These are pretty much medium. I have another, I have container after container after container of seashells. And I still keep collecting them. So let's just add a little nautilus in there. And here's a little tiny one here. Now what I'll do is I'll take a picture of this when I'm done, so that when I take everything off, I'll be able to kind of know where it goes. Here's another little one. Kind of, because I'll push it in the sand. And I want something different over there. And here's, throw that in there. And I kind of do in 3s and 5s. So I need one more piece in here. That's how I am. It has to be uneven. Let's see what I have in my other container over here. Let's see. And like I have 2 here, I gotta put 3 in there. I have to put 3 in there. So let's put this one in here. Just in there like so. We're gonna leave that in there. And then I'll put maybe this, I lost it. It was a small one and I lost it. Let's see. And then I think I might put a few pebbles in there. But that's not, I'm looking for another shell to put in here. Smaller shell. There we go. So we can put that there. I have my 5 there. And then I'm just looking for just a few little tiny ones that you're just going to throw in there. Just like so. And then, let's see, I need the pebbles. Let me put that in there. Actually, I'm not going to put the pebbles on now, but I'll put these little pebbles in here. I'll wait until the sand is poured, but then I'll put these little pebbles on top. So I'll do that after I do the resin. So there you go. So once you see the next step, once I get the resin, because this part will get clear resin, and then we'll have 2 to 3 shades of blue depending on what I'm going for, and then we'll do the waves. So once my resin comes, then we'll get this ocean turtle scene done. So stay tuned for part 2. I think this is going to be a cute, really cute piece. I wish I had another one of these frames. I usually have the rectangle frames, but you could do that. Let's see. See, these are the frames I normally get. And I do, they're brand new frames, but they're distressed. And I just think they're too distressed for me, for my taste. I just think it's too much. So then that's what I'll do is I'll, put 1 or 2 coats of paint on it. I don't care if a little bit shows through, but to me, these are just, but we could do another one and stencil on this as well. And instead of doing a turtle, I have, you know, you can use anything you want. Dolphins, turtles, crabs. You can use ornaments, angels. The ideas are endless. You can come up with something. So, all right then. Stay tuned for part 2 later, and we'll get this piece poured today. And then I actually could put this in my cooker, and we could do the reveal tonight. And what I didn't do, okay, was tape the back of this. So when I come back with the next video, we're going to go from taping the back, because if you don't tape the back, there's always that chance your resin can leak out, and then it's a mess. So I just looked at the tape and I realized, and I've done this before, had the piece ready to go and had to take everything off and redo it. But since I already told you I'm going to take all this off anyways, and I haven't taped it, I'll show you how I tape the back, and then we'll put the stuff back on and pour the resin. Okay, guys, thanks. Bye. Okay, my resin came. So let's get this started. Okay, so I'm going to tape the back. And again, what I told you in the first video, that is so in the event that you missed a glue spot, that the tape will keep the resin from coming through, because you don't want the resin coming to the back of your piece. That wouldn't look too good. Okay. There's no way to do this. You just make sure you get in the seam and just push it in there. Just make sure your seam has resin on it. Or not resin, tape. So this is how you tape it. Just taping it against the glass and the seam and the side there. Another piece here. It's kind of hard getting tape off with gloves on. And I mean, there's been times which I did forget to tape it, and the piece came out fine without any leaks. But one time I did forget to tape, and the resin was all over the place, and it couldn't be fixed. So from that point on, I always, if I have to take everything off to resin a piece, I'll do it. You know, after that one time it happened to me, that was enough. It's just not worth ruining your piece. All right, so now I'm going to take some alcohol. I'm just going to spritz it in the back, even though there's not, doesn't matter for the back, but I just want to make sure it looks kind of clear when I'm doing my piece. A little clean up the front. Okay, my resin machine, my resin air purifier machine has just come on. I am going to shut that off while I'm doing this. I know it's got a noisy background, but I'm going to shut it off while I'm doing this. Okay. I've got my resin mixed up. Here's my sand in my cup. So I'm going to take, well, before I even do that, I want to mix up my colors. So I want a little bit of white for the wave. It isn't going to take much. And maybe one more. Okay. So I'm going to take my white paste and give that a good stir. You always want to stir up your paste. I use JR resins and Color Passions white, and you don't need a lot of paste, especially for this small amount. So I'm going to get that mixed up, get this out of the way. So there's the white. To add some waves to our piece. And then just going to add, because this piece isn't going to take much resin. I did mix up extra. Let's see. Okay. So for the light blue, I'm going to use the Kimmy Shimmer. Again, got to mix it up. I think this will go good with what I stenciled on there with the color. All right, I'm just going to take a little dollop. Doesn't take much. And I'm going to stir that around. If I need more, I can add some more clear to it. But I'm pretty sure I'll be good. And then the Kimmy Shimmer, or the Michelle Shimmer. Give that a stir. I thought about putting a little sparkle in it. I don't know yet. We'll see as we go along. And I just need a little bit there. And that's going to go toward the top of our piece, the dark part of the ocean. I'm not going to do 3 different colors in this because the frame isn't that large. Okay, so we got that going. All right, now I'm going to add some clear into my sand. I'm going to get that mixed up. And I might need more sand because either sometimes it makes too much or not enough. But usually I do end up with a lot extra. That looks good. Okay, so I'm going to move my resins off to the side so I don't spill it. Okay, and now we're going to start with the sand. So I'm just going to take it and put it on the glass. Try and get it all out of here because this is the amount that I took off when I showed you the layout to begin with. But I do have extra here in case I decide I want more. So I can use my, well, let's see. I'm just gonna smash it in there. Like so. Push it down in there. Now this will be getting some more clear resin on top. And over here, I do want this just a little bit thinner because this is where the turtle is going. I want just to make it look a little bit curvy, not straight. get all that sand out. All right, I'm gonna pitch that. And I need to get another stick. That's gonna be, okay. So I think that's gonna be good. Okay, now, one thing that I did change my mind about is I'm gonna add this white glass besides the clear glass. Where is, okay, I'm trying to keep my fingers clean as possible. Okay, so when I lay my turtle here, I'm gonna make sure, yeah, that should be good. Okay, so this is micro glass, crushed glass, and I decided to put some along here. Where's my spoon? I have a plate here to catch the glass. So I'm just gonna run it along the sand. Okay, I'm pretty sure that should be enough. So let me grab my stick, and I'm just gonna push that up against the sand. Just like so. I need a smaller stick. Here we go. There we go. That's working out much better using a smaller stick. Okay, so I'm pushing all that glass because I don't want those little pieces of glass up in my ocean section. And to keep that from happening, that's where my other glass is going to go. It'll kind of keep it from going up in there. But there, I'm liking that. Now I'm going to push it a little bit more into the sand, like so. Okay. Now I'll take my clear glass, and I'm probably going to need more because I'm doing it different. So I'm going to push that along that micro glass. Like so. And I do need a few more pieces of the glass, so let me grab that real quick. This piece. And this will help keep that glass, the micro glass, from moving out into the ocean pour that I'm doing. And I just gotta hope that my turtle will fit on here pretty good. And I'm gonna grab him real quick and just see how he goes. And he should, there's one. That's a little too big. Let's see if I can find a smaller one. I don't care if it's a big one because it's gonna cover. It's gonna be covered by him, but I don't want him all. Like, yes, that's fine. All right, that looks pretty good. And I'm just checking. Let's put another little piece in there. Okay, so we got that done. And then now, I'm gonna add this starfish here. And actually, I'm gonna put a dab of resin right there, clear resin right there for the moment. Wait a second, do I want to do that first? I have to think this out. I gotta blow the waves first. So I'm holding that off. Okay. Alrighty. So I have my picture. I told you I would take a picture. So this one here, I got all my shells and stuff over here. This one here, I'm just gonna push it in there a little. And it actually went the other way, but I'm just gonna go like so, because I'm gonna cover this with a little bit of resin. And then I'm just kind of looking here, just like so. I'm gonna push that in a little bit. And then I had the 3. So I'm just going to, let's put this piece up here. I'm pushing that in, a little piece right there. It's sticking to my glove. And then we'll put a piece right here. So I want to get my shells on. And then over here, this is basically where I'm going to have my turtle. So, you know what? I actually think I'm just going to put, I think I'm just going to put that right there instead of on the glass. So I'm just put that there. And then the other 3 little shells I had. We're just going to throw that there. And one here. And this one goes over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this turtle off. I'm done with that cup. I want to get this stuff out of the way. I'm going to take this turtle off for the moment. And now I'm going to hit this with just cover those shells and the glass a little bit. And we're just going to get this all covered. You don't have to. And I'm going to, actually I need to lift that unless I get really close here to hold that in. And then I'm just going to go along here and make sure I got all that glass covered so it stays. Okay. Let's leave that go right there. All right. Okay, the turtle will go on last. All right. We're going to start with the, I got to put a little shimmer in there. So I'm going to use, I just like a little sparkle out in the deep blue. You know how the sun hits it. I'm not going to use a lot. This is the sparkle. I mean, I'm going to use very, very little. Okay, I'll get that out of the way. Okay, so alrighty. So I'm just going to pour just a little. And I'm just going to push it around. And we'll be blending the colors together. But I'm just going to go like that for now. All right. I don't know, this is getting warm already. All right, and now we're going to add the blue, the lighter blue. And I'm just going to move this around a little bit. I'm going to blend those colors in a minute. I'm just going to move this around, then I'm probably going to use my finger to, okay. I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to start first getting the edges. I want to get the very edges. And over here, I want to make sure all that glass is covered. And you can see the green tape, so. All right. And then I'm just going to start bringing in a little bit of that darker blue down in here. Swirl it a little bit. Just gonna there we go. Trying not to go above the frame, which I just did. I have to clean that up. There we go there. That looks pretty good. Let me wipe off my fingers. And I have to wipe this off right here. Right along the edge here. There we go. It's looking good, guys. It's looking good. Okay, now we're going to add just a little bit of wave. Not much. Let me push this glass in. And I have to put my, well, no, I'm going to do my wave first so that I don't have the turtle in the way when I go to blow it. Let's see, I think I'm just going to do a little bit here, and maybe, I'm not even sure I want to blow this. I think I might use a toothpick. Sometimes I blow it, sometimes I just use a toothpick to do my white, because this piece is really small, and I'm really liking how that's laid out. So, let me take this white. And I think what I'm going to do, let's see here. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to go along the glass. Just like so. Make it a little bit thicker. Now, because this is resin, you know it's not going to stay like this, so that's one thing about resin. If you get a resin piece, nobody's going to get the same piece. You're going to have an original every time, because no one's going to be able to have a piece like you. Let's get a little up there. You know, you just do what makes you happy with your waves. That's looking pretty good. Just trying to make it a little. Let's just do one in here. Okay, so then now I'm going to add the turtle. So I'm going to add just a little bit of clear here, and we're going to place that turtle right on here, just like so. And then I'm just going to push him in a little bit so the resin attaches to his underneath part. And there you go. I think I'm just going to spray it with some alcohol, and I think this piece is perfectly done. So I can try and lift it up for you. So I can't see the camera, so I'm just going to move it. So I think that came out really nice. Now I'm seeing some green tape there, so that's telling me, what do I need to do? I have to put some, I don't know if I'm, just a smidgen more resin in here. That looks good. That looks good, guys. So there you go. I might throw this in the cooker, and then we can, I can take the tape off the back and then show you the finished piece tonight. So there you go. So it's really not that hard. Also, you know, you don't have to have as much stuff as I do, but I think this piece come out awesome. All right, guys, you have a good day, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did.